Open your hearts.
Loosen your butts.
It's time for couples therapy. And boy, do we need it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this podcast is Andy and Naomi's, where they can both laugh and hang with all their homies, talking excellent vacationing with brunches and cuddling, to messy situationships and conscious and coupling, from Netflix hookups to single them with some Hulu, text, sex, regrets, or feeling on your new jubu. They gon' talk about it, yeah, you are invited, needing therapy, I guarantee, baby, we got it.
It's couples therapy. Couples therapy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Couples Therapy. I'm Naomi.
And I'm Andy.
And we're a real life couple.
A real life couple of comedians.
And on Couples Therapy, we answer a couple of questions from a couple different listeners.
Here we are. It's a Sunday afternoon, steaming hot. The cat is lying on the table.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Against nature, against all things holy. This is where we are right now. But I think we are in a moment, Naomi, I will say this, of joy. Mabel on Friday had her final chemotherapy treatment.
I know. It was funny because it was like so anticlimactic. I really wanted the
Balloons?
oncologist. Yeah, I wanted balloons. I wanted a horn. I wanted all of the staff at the hospital to just march or something.
It said someone came out and just on their phone, they played a sound effect of The Price is Right when you fuck up.
That didn't happen.
So that's why. Yeah, thanks for really underlining that didn't happen.
Anyway, you guys, it is Sunday. Thursday, I'm going to New York City. My first time on a plane in almost a year and a half. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I've been thinking through. So, Naomi, if you didn't know this, dear listeners, Naomi is taping a Netflix special in early August. And, yeah, this is our first time, because you're going to fly and do some shows. I'm going to come join you later with Mabel, with newly chemotherapy-free Mabel.
Yes.
And, yeah, I haven't really thought about the flying part. I've been kind of like putting that out of my head.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But, you know, I'm definitely going to be masked up and taking all my wipes.
We are flying Delta variant.
I wonder if, like, anyone's flying Delta now. Can you imagine? Because you're like, I don't want to get on a Delta flight and get the Delta variant.
I don't know. You would think of like, hey, well, if I'm going to fly, I'm going to get it anyway. I might as well. The irony or the synchronicity, I suppose, of the nominative synchronicity.
Oh, my God. Nominative synchronicity.
Hey, you too can have this vocabulary if you go to grad school for philosophy.
You can have this vocabulary and some debt. Think about it.
Hey, you want to, well, I mean, that debt's from other stuff, but I would not, look here, number one, I would not suggest going to grad school if you don't get a fellowship.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I did not go to NYU, because they're like, oh, no, this is on your back. And I'm like, I don't know if a master's degree in philosophy of experimental literature.
Good God.
Literature. Why did I say it like that? I don't know if a master's degree in philosophy of experimental literature really going to pay for itself. So maybe I don't do this.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. I mean, what job do you go into with a philosophy degree?
Teach.
Law or teaching philosophy, right? Are those like the two options kind of?
Oh, well, undergrad law. I mean, I doubt like most like philosophy grad students go into law.
But it's like an option. I just like don't understand what you do with a philosophy degree.
You teach. What do you? My parents' friends at Seder when I was in grad school.
That's me.
What are you gonna do? Work at McDonald's after this?
Oh, I would never say that. But anyway, can we talk about our guests because they're very exciting?
I mean, yes. Naomi, why don't you? Because I'm just too excited to even say anything.
Well, we've got dear friends, Chris Colfer and Ashley Fink. They're dear friends of ours. They're besties, the two of them. And, you know, they've just been real gifts to us in Los Angeles. They've become just great friends, and they like to have a good time and invite us to movies. And that's all I really want in life, is just to be invited to a movie.
Yeah, we said this on an early episode of the show at some point without naming Chris.
Yeah.
But, like, when we kind of like started to feel like Los Angeles was home was when we started to be friends with Chris and his boyfriend, Will.
Yeah.
Because it was just like we just hang out. It was just hanging out.
It was a hang time. It was a very chill. They've got 2 dogs. One of them's 90 pounds, and I just lay on him. I drape myself over him. Now, we're just going on, but let me give you the basics. You may know Chris Colfer and Ashley Fink from their work on Glee, for which Chris won a Golden Globe. He's also the writer of the book series The Land of Stories and A Tale of Magic. He's out here writing books on books on books for the children. And they're gorgeous. So you're going to have a good time. Yeah. That's what I think. That was a dramatic pause. I shouldn't have made it, but I think it's just going to be fun because they're fun and Ashley is hilarious.
Yeah. So without any further ado, roll it. Chris, Ashley, we needed this today, so I'm really glad that we could see you again twice in a week.
I know.
Twice in 1 week.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's post-war. We're easing back in.
I know.
It was so fun to see you guys the
Yeah.
other night.
It was so fun. What I like about you guys, you guys always have activities. Do you know what I mean? It's which I like as someone who's very lazy. I would like to partake of the world, but I don't know how to make a reservation.
Yeah.
So I like that you're like, this, we are doing this thing. And it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's Colfer. That's all Colfer.
I find if you have activities in a party, the least likely you are to get stuck talking to someone you don't want to talk to.
Wow.
Because you can always go, oh, I gotta go check on this. Oh, I gotta go do this. I gotta, it gives you a great segue or an excuse.
Could you just not invite people you don't want to talk to?
That is also a good idea. But then I feel guilty. I don't like anyone to feel discluded.
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 Yeah.
Is that not a word?
It's
Discluded?
a word now.
Excluded, but
Excluded.
I was with
Yes,
you.
there we go.
No, I like
Sorry.
discluded.
I'm going to say this. The English language is malleable.
Exactly.
And
It's very
100%.
good.
It's the
you
entire
can do whatever
point.
you want with it.
Discluded is when you get kicked out, but you've been dissed along the way.
100%.
Here
It's
it
when
comes.
we like you enough to come to the party, but we need activities to stay away from you.
Yes. Yeah.
Discluded.
Every friend group has those.
It's true.
And you just
And I'm going to say who they are right now.
I know. I would be so good. You're like,
and you just hope you're not that one in the friend group that's the discluded one.
Sure.
I am absolutely that person.
Never.
Absolutely.
Never.
So
You're the highlight.
here's the thing. I'm interested in this combo because I think a while ago we had thought Ashley and Isaac on the live show, and that was
Yes.
over a year ago. And then Ashley's like, nope. And then we said Chris and Will, your boyfriend, and you were like, nope. And then so I am psyched about this combo, but if I can prompt you, if I can put on my interviewer's cap for just a moment.
put on
Yeah,
the
sure,
cap.
please.
Put on the cap.
Chris, now you had said that you are a little protective of your relationship with Will because of some stands.
Yes. Stands.
However,
like-
not at all worried about protecting our relationship. Which I gotta say, I
But I feel
love.
like you and I equally, sold our soul to the devil.
Yes.
So
That's a good
we're
point.
both on our own. You know, kind of.
Yeah, we signed up for it.
Yeah.
We
so-
need the attention. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, we know that.
especially
now.
after quarantine.
I
My
know.
goodness, I'm so empty.
I know.
Okay, so before I explain this story, I should start by saying that I would say, because Ashley and I, we were on the show Glee. That's how we met, and that's why anyone
You were
knows
on
who I
Glee?
am. Yes, once or twice.
No, that was me.
So I would say I would say 90% of the Glee fandom are just like the sweetest, cutest little nuggets. Like
Yeah.
they're just like energetic theater, supportive musical art kids. They just love to sing and dance, and they couldn't be cuter. But during the show, this subdivision sort of developed.
They were discluded, if you will.
They were discluded. Oh my God, I'm never gonna let that one down.
Oh no, I love it. I'm actually
I know,
sorry.
we like
I'm
the-
obsessed.
we like
I think
the
it's
word
great.
discluded.
Yeah,
Continue.
yeah. So the discluded group of young folk, they loved the show so much, they just truly believed with all their heart that they were watching a documentary. And when my character, Kurt, got a love interest, Blaine, who was played by Darren Criss,
Those names
they're-
are triggering. Kurt and Blaine, just for a
Kurt
second.
and Blaine,
I can't
yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
yeah. And
I think it's pronounced Clane.
yes. So when our characters got together on the show, there was a group of fans that just they could not fathom the fact that Darren and I were just actors on a TV show, to the point where they started actively trying to sabotage our real relationships in real life in an attempt. I think the hope was that Darren and I would break up with our significant others and then run into each other's arms in a flowery meadow or something.
Don't give them any material.
I know, right? But and
also, he's married. He's a married person.
Now he's
full
married.
married,
He's
full
also
married.
a straight man as well. So we are not each other's types. Had it just stayed on Twitter, had it just been like some childhood childish Twitter bullying, it would have been one thing. But no, it was like oh my God, what they started, they got a hold of my boyfriend's email and they signed him up for all kinds of crazy websites.
Like illegal things.
Illegal things.
They shut down his blog.
They shut down, he had a blog from college that they got shut down. And one time I got a tweet from someone that said, you need to check your boyfriend's emails. And so I was like, Will? You want to check your emails? And they had signed him up for ashleymadison.com, which is a straight cheating website. So it's like they were almost there. They're almost there, but they tried to get him fired from his job at the time.
It was for real.
Yeah, he was working for Robert Zemeckis at the time, and his creative executives got all these emails and messages from these people saying lies about him, trying to get him fired, and his mom and his sisters got boxes of hair in the mail, with notes that say how dare you be part of this lie.
Yeah,
we know the truth. And it drove me nuts. So I whenever I can keep Will out of harm's length, I do.
Yeah, it's PTS Glee.
PTS Glee. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I mean, so you guys obviously you met on Glee, y'all, but it's also your friendship sort of happened in the course of what was a phenomenon. That show was the thing. And it's and everybody was young, so I'm assuming it was also the first big thing either of you had done, right?
Oh,
so it was
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's huge to kind of be part of that. How was it just instant connection, or
pretty much
was it a slow burn?
Yeah.
No, the weirdest thing about Chris and I is we didn't even have a lot of screen time together. I was recurring on the show in the first season, and then I joined the Glee Club when he left the Glee Club to go to another school. So he left and I took his place. So we didn't have a lot of on-screen or even at work time together.
Yeah.
But my first day guest starring on episode 8, the pilot had only aired. I was in the makeup trailer and Chris was just like, will you eat lunch with me? I mean, not to put you on blast.
Yeah.
I love
But
he Loki stalked me and we had lunch together and our friendship was during the phenomenon of Glee and we were on tour together and all of that stuff, but it was also completely separate in a weird way.
Yeah, I remember we met, and I remember just being like, "Who is this lady?" Because you guys know Ashley. Ashley can take the Mickey out of anybody.
Oh yeah, Ashley is a tour de force.
And I just I'm thinking, oh my God, I needed a protector. Yeah. And I'm like, no, she's gonna be my protector, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can I go back for 1 second?
Sure.
How did the stand stop? What stopped them?
They never stopped.
It just stops being as
Will
intense.
went private on all of his accounts, truthfully.
Yeah.
And time, people sort of calm down with time, but it hasn't. I mean, there's still.
But they should be old enough now to know that the TV wasn't real. Do you know what I mean?
I've gotten a lot of apology letters from that time,
nice.
from they're probably in their early 20s now, saying I was so out of line. I apologize. I should not have sent that severed head in the mail. That kind of stuff. So it's nice that people are learning and growing.
I remember being so surprised by it,
Yeah.
and my dad told me, he's like, straight up, when Gilligan's Island was on the air, people would call and be like, why don't you rescue these people? It's a forever thing where there's just a certain type of person who watches TV and they're so lost in it that they can't, separate.
Yeah, and I feel like you expect that like on the internet, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
In real
once,
life.
Yeah, once it crossed over, that's when I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you
You don't feel safe. I mean, in a way.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that, like, I'm like, at what point do you realize that reality and television, that fiction is a totally different thing from reality? When you see, like, oh wait, he has another boyfriend and he's not 14. How old were people in Glee? Sorry.
I still don't know.
We were 40, but how old were we?
I started.
Chris was
14,
actually young.
Yeah.
Chris was actually a child.
I know my character started 14, and then his age kind of jumped around.
Jumped around. It was like his 18th birthday in season 1, like or something.
Right.
He's in college, but he never was out of 16. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't exactly linear. It wasn't so. Yeah.
At what point do you go like, oh, I like these people and I like the things they do. I'm gonna ruin them in real life. Like, at what point does that thing? Because
Do you think they have the answer to why people are crazy?
No. but you may have thought, because like, look, this is the like slightest like 0.001% shade. But every once in a while, every couple months, there'll be like someone will comment on the couples therapy on the Apple. Charts and
Apple
say on the Apple charts and say like Naomi needs her own podcast. Drop the drip, and it's just like, that I'm her husband.
I was
right?
just
like,
kidding.
Yeah.
Like what,
Chris,
Chris,
that's
not
what we
okay.
brought you. That's why we brought you here to talk about your
intervention.
comments.
Yes, we looked up the IP address. We figured it out.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like, well, what do you think? Like, do you think you, as a fan of this person, you're endearing yourself to them by like hurting the people that they love? Like, that's
Or
the thing,
insulting
like,
the people.
or
Like, yeah, it's like
insulting
that's
them.
what kills me. He's like, I'm sorry, did you think it was cute to say that to me? And it's like,
it's still a mystery to me. But one thing I know for sure is it is hard enough to date in Los Angeles as it is.
Yeah.
And when you add 14,000 14-year-old girls who are trying to actively sabotage your relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle. It's a miracle any of us were able to have successful relationships outside the show.
Yeah.
well, yes, you said for a second, Ash, Chris, you joked I needed a protector, but then Ashley, you were like, yeah, that was kind of it. Was that and obviously your personality is like, Chris, you are the mellow one. Not even mellow. I would say shy. I would use the word shy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're, no, you're anxious and
He's
crazy, like all of us.
so type A in a good way. Mm-hmm. Not to self
Right,
like to
the cruise
diagnose
director.
you, but yes, he is like 100%. I feel like I do fall into like the beta role with Chris, and like I am like, whatever you want, let's do it.
Hey,
Yeah,
but I
weirdly.
think of you is like, you say what you want. You're very direct.
Oh yeah,
Like, I feel like
for sure.
I would imagine that you have also helped Chris be a little more direct IRL.
I think
Oh
so.
yes, yeah. And I think the pandemic has actually made us switch personalities.
100%. It's weird. It's like Freaky
very strange,
Friday.
'cause I was very much an introvert before pandemic, and she was the extrovert, and that just something happened, and something happened cosmically, and now we're the opposite.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Mm-hmm. But I do think we were drawn together for a reason. I was absolutely his protector. I was older. Yeah. I had already done, a lot of fun, wild things, and Chris was 18, or 19. Yeah. And I was like, there's this little baby gay, and he needs a mama. And she stepped up, and I was like, I got you. And I do think, I think it was meant to be in a weird way.
Oh yeah, and thank God, because God only knows what would have happened. Because I would have. There are parties. She was like, you were not going to that party. Like there were like. There were people that would invite me over, and she'd be like,
nope.
You are not going to that house.
Not
you
that
are
one.
not going to that producer's house.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Oh, my God.
Things that some people we now know of.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there is, I was certainly aware of things that Chris was not aware of. And I was like, not my kid. Not my baby.
Not my son.
He's
not
not
my
gonna have a Me Too story as long as I'm around. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I think that was lucky. I think you needed somebody like
Oh,
that.
absolutely, yeah.
Because
I need someone who knew the ropes.
He was also like 18 years old, and
Yeah.
to be doing something that huge, like nobody could have planned
Right.
for Glee. We
Right.
were on a world tour. People like, it was like the Beatles. It was insane. People were throwing their children at us, like literally.
Yeah. Good thing we're good catches.
Literally, like it's crazy, and like all of this stuff and all the attention, and so much of it was on him because he was so talented. He won the Golden Globe. That was his date, And it was just like, I don't know. I felt very lucky that I got to be in that position to like look out for him.
Yeah. What made you? I know you said you had done some wild and crazy things, but you're both from California originally.
I'm from Texas, actually.
Texas.
I know. Sorry, I don't always claim it, but no, I am from Texas.
But did you start acting like in the biz? Officially acting.
Yeah.
Really
Here,
little?
yeah, I went to a
Yes.
performing arts high school here in California, and then I started working at like 16, and I had done I had guest starred on other shows, and I had done a big gay indie movie, and I got to like go all over the world with it, and so I was sort of met like I had been on a lot of like the fun. The work part of it, but also like the party queer side of it. And so I sort of was like, these are fun, and like I love that for you, but I also like want to make sure he's protected.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Chris, would it be safe to say that you not have a hard time, you take your time like letting people in?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've always been that way ever since I was a kid, though. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've always been. I think maybe just like growing up in a very, very conservative small town and being closeted. I think that really just. I was always too afraid to get close to people because I was always afraid someone would out me, essentially. Like maybe not like in an orientation sense, but just like in just a general sense. Like I always had like this kind of like I'd be the victim of a witch hunt kind of a thing. So I've always been very, very guarded.
Yeah.
And here's Ashley who'll tell you all our business.
100%. The second you meet me at Starbucks, I'm like, what do you want to know about my trauma? No, it's very true. We're very opposite in that way.
Well, then I have to imagine that like having so many eyes on you just exacerbates that feeling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean-
and also like I feel like the time in which that all happened had such a important role in it too. I only can speak from my point of view because I've only been me. Like back then it was like you were told like don't come out. I was told many times by many people don't come out of the closet. You will ruin your career. And I mean, at a certain point, because there was a lot of examples of people who do come out and then they never work again, that I started to kind of believe it. But I also was like, I would rather, I'm going to put my life first and my career second. It's funny, I've never stopped working.
It's true.
The joke was on them. But,
I know.
But yeah.
It's weird. Authenticity? What?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that fit into what we were talking about, but I'm glad I said it.
Yeah.
No, yes.
Needed to be said. But I do think also it leads to being guarded. You being that famous, that young, with that many eyes on you. I mean, you are a little bit like full on agoraphobic at first.
Oh yeah, and that's also because there was a really scary time when
You were kidnapped at a movie theater?
I was kidnapped. Yeah, there were a lot of, and I've never really talked about this because especially back then I felt like I didn't want to talk about it because I wanted to be. This sounds so pretentious when I say it now, but I wanted to be a symbol of strength for the kids that were looking up to me. So I never talked about how hard it was. I never talked about how scared I was.
And you don't want to seem ungrateful.
Right.
Because people like instantly hate when you're like, oh, you've got everything. Why are you complaining?
Exactly.
That a woman
Exactly.
literally tried
Yeah.
to snatch you at the movie theater.
Yeah. So you just kind of smile and go along with it. But
No,
like,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
snatch
should
you
not
at the
have said
movie
that.
theater.
Yes.
Oh, that was nothing like. Oh, I mean, like the scariest part was the death threats. Like there was a period when it was constant death threats, and like I remember like someone said they were gonna put an explosive in my car, and like it went on and on and on. And,
Or like
and,
after the first kiss aired with you and Blaine, there was all those protesters outside of Paramount. We were just trying to get into work.
Yeah.
And there were all these homophobic protesters like throwing stuff at our cars.
that one was kind of cool. I like that one.
Well-
yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Some of it was kind of cool. I think at one point I was called the Antichrist on Fox News, and that was pretty cool.
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I got to get that put on a shirt.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. Definitely.
We should all be so lucky.
This is the thing. I think also like one of the reasons that like I was able to be normal around you guys was because I never watched Glee. I didn't know when we first met. We first met at one of Isaac Oliver's book readings.
Isaac Oliver, friend of the show. We can't stop talking about him.
Big friend of the show, obsessed.
And
I loved his episode, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. He's heaven sent from above.
Yeah.
what a peach of a man.
And you were like, you didn't want to do the live show with Isaac? No. Have you heard Isaac speak? No. He's like all eloquent. And he's like talking about all these big world things, and I'm like, nah. Give me some rose. Like, no.
Yeah. By the way, you have to have Isaac on the show with Ashley because it will be a completely different dynamic.
Yeah.
Like she becomes the child and he becomes the protector, mother figure.
We
when
literally
they're-
call him mother. He's
Yeah.
in my phone as mother. Yeah. Mommy. Yeah. It's the opposite. So funny.
So I think I'm like, oh, I just like these people. Like there was this whole thing where I'm like, oh, I like who you are. This is fun. We have fun together. And because like there are people who I'll run into who like we were at a party and like Lauren Graham was at the party and I'd watch Gilmore Girls. So I was just like literally spent the time like, am I looking at her? Should I not be looking at her? What am I doing here? And I couldn't have like a human moment.
No, you were like, because I know you, I could tell. Like the moment I saw her, I go, uh-oh. Because I was like, he gonna have some emotions.
Yeah.
Literally, the first time I went to his house, what did I find on his wall was the complete Gilmore Girl series.
Yes.
So I was like, okay. And
Okay,
who's
which
on-
boyfriend? Which boyfriend, Andy? Which boyfriend? What team are we?
Oh, yeah.
Logan, Jess, or Dean?
Honestly, none of them.
Oh.
I'm team Lane. I want.
Oh, I love Lane. Okay.
You want them to get together?
Yeah, actually, that would
Well,
have
that would be a twist.
would have much preferred that to who both of them ended up with.
Yeah.
But also like, but the thing that I think is interesting is that like for whatever pressures you've both been under, you're both normal human beings.
Well, that's what I was
that's
going to ask.
that's the first time I've ever been called that. I've been called a lot of things.
No, you are, though. That's very sweet. I think that's true. I think my whole family feels so close to Chris. Like nobody feels like you're very warm and you're very welcoming and you're not like weird. And he's like, not to say that famous people are weird,
No, but some of them can be.
They can, and sometimes there's that.
Think about what you're
sort of
telling us
wall.
you've been through, too. I'm like,
Yeah.
when you hear about that kind of shit, it's like, yeah, no wonder you ain't
They're
making
weird.
a friend. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that.
Well, I think that's also why everything you just said about me, I would say ditto back to you. And I think that's also why we first bonded is because it's like there is so much BS in this industry
Yeah.
and like so many fake people and so many. And it's like when you finally find your tribe, it's magical. And you finally find someone that, you know, I was raised in a family where teasing was a love language.
Same. Yeah.
And like it's same and like once we kind of like, oh wait, we speak the same love language, it was an instant bond.
Yeah.
Yes. I call it brazing. It is what a gentle
brazing.
roast.
100%.
You know,
Yes,
Gentle
exactly.
roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm nice to you, that's a problem.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh my God, Ashley, you've been nice to me. You've
No.
been nice to me. Ashley, were you mad when I showed up because there was like another young girl at the party?
oh no, I'm so happy to have another vagina around. I mean, or you know, any.
So's my
any-
golden retriever.
Yeah. Oh my God, Cooper.
Oh my
He's a
God,
ladies'
really loves a
man.
crotch. Loves a
Yeah.
crotch.
I mean, talk about
Yes. We've tried.
everything.
He's untrainable.
I literally ran into Jane Lynch on the street and she goes, tell Cooper my vagina says hi. I was like, absolutely, I will do it.
Jeez.
I would say crotches of all orientations.
Oh, he goes for yours?
Oh, goes for mine.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Nobody's
Okay,
business.
That makes
Oh,
that's
yeah,
good.
mine too.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I feel like, yeah, he's an equal opportunity offender. But
no discrimination in this
none.
house.
Yeah, but he loves a crotch. Wow, how do we get here?
Yeah.
I know, right? How do we get to love? Well, I was going to say, though, Ashley, are you single?
Yeah. She's single. She's been single for like 24, 35, 60 years, something like that.
Oh, it has not been that long, but close.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
close. The turn of the century. No, I'm not a dater.
But now, is that because you are constantly having a fun event with Chris and Will and the
Yes.
gang?
Yeah.
Right?
it.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, like I love you being around. I am very frequently the only female. It's been that way though since I was like 4 years old. My mom had 2 gay friends in Texas, and I was like, these are my people. Like from jump. Like I don't like speak heterosexual very well. Straight men drive me crazy. Like the only language that I speak fluently is homosexual. Like truly, and it's just like the worst thing ever that I'm straight.
And Ashley also hates it. She hates it when people flirt with her.
Oh.
Like she always like shuts it down like before it even like starts.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. That's,
Yeah.
there have been many times like men have flirted, like, openly flirted, like,
kind.
hey, how can a guy like me get your number? And you'll say,
I'll just walk away.
or you'll say, oh, you don't know you're gay yet?
Generally. Yeah. In my defense, generally, if a man is glamored by me, he is At least bisexual.
Yes,
which
70%
is fine.
of the time,
I
sure.
love a bi husband. Let's do it. No, I don't know I don't know what it is. I haven't had a boyfriend in a long time. I was with like a 5-year relationship. We almost got married, like a lot, like literally when I was like 20. And then I had an on and off thing for a long time with a friend of mine, but it's just never, I don't know. I don't connect with the straights. I need to find a bisexual who gets it, who wants to watch RuPaul's Drag Race with me and lay it down. You know, that's what I hate. Like, I am not going to watch sports with somebody. I hate doing things I don't want to do. I'm not good at compromise, and that's really a big truth.
Well, okay, maybe you stay single, Ash.
100%. I'm just saying, I'm not. I do, but I just mean like I'll go to a baseball game with my ex-boyfriend, okay, but I'm not like watching sports every Saturday and Sunday. And
I did sign her up for farmersonly.com.
100%, that's a true story.
Really?
Not even the free trial. He paid for this heckle. Paid money.
The first month I paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you get her a farmer, Chris?
I thought it was
pitchforked.
hilarious.
Yeah. And I had so many emails. He gave me my real email address, all of it.
Wow.
I had so many winks. You know, our moves. I don't remember what they were called.
So I mean, I've done my part, is what I'm trying to say.
You have, no, it's something I need to like. Yeah, I'm just having too much fun with these.
You're also very. I think you're very smart too, and it's really hard to find someone who can be on your level.
It's very nice.
Who can go toe to toe. I think also, especially, I will say this too. I found, because I'm also like a little bit of a roaster, and like. And I'm like, he's like the way he said that, I was like, that was a black secretary. That was very loaded.
There's a lot there.
It was a lot there.
With love.
But I do find that straight men have, in my experience, they have had trouble with a woman who can like sling the jokes.
Oh, 100%.
They get very delicate.
They do, and they just want all this praise, and I'm like, what have you done? No, it's terrible. But I also live in Los Angeles, which is a huge. When I was living in New York, I'd met so many more guys that I connected with. Living in LA with a bunch of young, gorgeous actors, and yes, that's kind of you to say, but sometimes they want to hook up with me, and that's or whatever. But it's like, I don't want to listen to your mixtape. I don't want to talk about your agents. Yeah. I'm grown. I'm like, I don't know. There's a Peter Pan syndrome to the straight men here, and I'm looking for a divorcee. Okay.
Okay, we can find you a nice.
You married a hot young actress. She was everything you wanted, and now you're bored of each other. So I'll bring you personality. I will bring you events.
Activities.
Yeah, but I won't listen to your mixtape, and I won't send it to anyone I know at Sony.
I think you also you really enjoy being free. I think you also really enjoy being single too.
Do I? I guess so. I mean, I obviously do.
I think it's like it's so unfair that women can't admit that.
Yeah,
you know? But I do think you like.
I also feel like, sorry, Mom, because you're gonna listen to this. I don't need like a lot of sex.
Yeah,
like I'm like, okay, it's been a year. I guess I should, you know what I mean? Or 3 years. I'm not like these people who like, you know, when I get tipsy, I want to like snooze or eat snacks. I don't like get on the phone and try to find someone to hook up with. Like I don't like old strangers, all of that. I'm like very. Yeah, that's not my thing. Yeah. So I think a lot of times people looking for that like physical connection is how they find a relationship, and I just don't look. For
you're not. Yeah, you're not like motivated by that. I get that. I mean, you know, we say on this show, you know, I'm sex negative, Andy's sex.
I'm so sex negative. 100%.
Oh my God, thank you. So you know, so we definitely get it.
Do you live, love, feed, all of it? Just I don't want to do it.
Right.
And
exactly.
I will say though, I mean. I'm gonna give her some credit because she's not giving herself credit. Like, the guys that Ashley has dated and have been with, like they have all been gorgeous, hot. All could be the lead of a CW show.
Wow.
Every single one of them. Yeah.
CW vibes.
Yeah. So she's being a little misleading here.
Yes, once every solar eclipse, a CW werewolf appears in my bedroom. But I actually was interestingly reading this thing about that, and there's this weird thing about, like, I'm a plus size woman. I'm very proud of that. I don't make any bones about that. But there's this thing where like really hot men have never had to have their social currency be anything other than being hot. So a lot of like guys who aren't that handsome or not even handsome, more like successful in all of these things, they want like a hot bitch because it makes them feel like they have social real estate. So they're like, and that's fine. I'll be whatever you're attracted to. It's not that, but there's this weird thing where like I'm attracted to guys who look like Santa Claus. But they don't want to fuck me. They in LA at least, they want to have sex with the hot girl who like they can bring to a party and everyone's like, how did he get her? A lot of times, not everybody. This is not speaking for everybody. But weirdly, there's this thing about guys who are good looking and they don't have to worry about much. They don't think twice about hitting on someone like me because it doesn't make them feel insecure, which is like a weird psychological thing. But I thought it was very interesting.
No, that's very I'm trying to think about that concept, this idea of like hitting on someone, like, what's the word I'm kind of trying to say? Like, almost like how, because I don't think of hitting on someone as like something I'm communicating to the world around me, for instance, right? If I'm at a party and I talk to you, I'm not even thinking about what other people are thinking of me talking to you.
Totally, same.
So, like, that idea of like that layer of sort of social consciousness, really, right?
Yeah.
To be all like
especially in LA, especially in this industry. And like you have a guy, I've literally had guys be like, I like you so much, but I can tell it's like they're not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? With me, like in a party situation. And like, I'm too old for that. Like, and that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, yeah, it's so interesting how that's true though. I mean, I can pull.
Well, then they don't deserve you.
When I'm at a party, I go find the most famous person. I make sure
to
get a selfie. I get a selfie with them, and I'm like, tag me.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
Nothing gets you in an inner circle more than that.
Yeah, that's the way in. That's the way in.
I know.
No, it's just interesting.
But now I got a 3-picture deal with Orion. So
Orion? Is it 1991? Are they back? I
never left.
The only way I think I've been able to navigate LA and just like meeting people, I really do think it's like having done stand-up makes it so that like I'm not particularly intimidated by people. You know what I mean? Like having been on a stage and had like 100 dead eyes looking at you like, what you doing? I'm like, oh, okay, you're on a program.
Totally.
You know, I think that's the only thing that saved me from like being that kind of person, you know, who's very like, oh God, what are we doing? Where are we going? You know, and like, who's going to be there? It's like, honey, no one's there. My dream party is 2 people.
That's me. 100%.
And that comes with maturity too, I think. Yeah. I think it's a very juvenile trait to be like, oh, where are we going? Who's here? What's next?
Yeah.
Well, it's also
and
just
unfortunately, a lot of people are kind of immature in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. All joking aside, not just some joking, but like
all of it.
We were at a
all of it.
Like I know, like I was a little tongue tied in front of Lauren Graham, but I talked to her like a normal human. But like, there's some people like Bob Odenkirk was at a party I was at, and I was just like, and it was a small party, but I'm like, what am I gonna say to him? Like, you're why I'm in comedy. Like, I'm not. What kind of conversation am I gonna have with this guy? It's not gonna It's not gonna be like. I'm just not gonna. We're not on the same. He's also like what 20 or 30 years older than me. Like,
but not 30 years. He ain't.
What is he like? 50 or 60 years older than me.
He's 101.
He is 101 years old.
200 in full.
Yeah.
He is a vampire, right? So, but like, there's just this thing where I'm like,
your words.
I don't need to talk to him. Like, I'm not gonna get anything out of this. We're not gonna be on this. We're not gonna do like tell him my favorite sketches he's written or something.
What a nightmare for him that would be.
Right, exactly. So like, there's no. I think a lot of people like try to like, if I'm in the proximity of someone like that, somehow it'll rub off on me in some way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an angle.
Yeah, and it's such a weird way to conduct yourself, as opposed to just like, oh, we get along, so let's talk.
Well, you have a pure heart.
Aww.
He has a pure heart. You know, he's from Pennsylvania. He didn't come in here, you know, to be a big star, and that's why. Okay, I feel like we've got some good info, some good background, so that now we can like answer some questions. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, great. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Chris and Ashley.
Hi, it's Rachel Fisher from the Hollywood Crime Scene podcast, and I'm here to talk to you about Shudder. Shudder is the ultimate streaming service for fans of horror, thrillers, and the supernatural. Shudder offers an unbeatable selection from Hollywood favorites like Halloween and cult classics like one of my personal favorites, Chopping Mall, to original series like Creepshow and The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. Check out critically acclaimed new genre films that you won't find anywhere else. all uncut and commercial-free. If you're a horror fan like me or just looking for new content to stream, Shudder is a must-have subscription. Sign up and subscribe to Shudder.
Hey y'all, wanted to pop in real quick and let you know that if you like what you hear and you want to support the show, there are a couple different ways.
Most of our support comes from our wonderful Patreon community. For $5 a month, you get 2 bonus episodes of just us, mostly spilling the tea, and occasionally searching for crazy bread in Los Angeles. Plus, lots of other bonus content. We love our page pals, and we couldn't do this without you. And if you want to join, go to patreon.com/couplestherapypod.
We also have merch, which includes Gotta Miss a Bitch and Jubu t-shirts, which you can find in the link tree in our Twitter or Insta bios.
And for absolutely $0, you can rate and review the show on Apple.
5 stars, please. It'll only take 10 seconds, and it helps us tremendously. Okay, that's it. We love you deeply. Now back to the show. And we're back with Will. I just said Will, but you're Chris.
Will.
We get mixed up all the time.
People
You're
even call
both
me Will.
brown-haired, sensitive souls. So
We
maybe,
are.
I don't know.
Yeah, we both stutter. We both shrug a lot. Yeah. It's a vain attraction.
You want me to try it again? Or we should just keep it in that
I love it. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Ashley and Chris. Welcome back, Ashley and Chris, to WPTS 92.1.
Yeah, who's this? Who am I meeting
The
right now?
Badger.
That's his name, the Badger.
All right, Badge, let's
Miss
go.
Badger and the Misses.
Oh, the Misses?
You're the Misses.
I need a better name than that.
Oh,
So-
Mrs. Badger from Narnia.
Yeah, see?
No, Chris.
See? It was a
No,
Narnia
no.
reference.
No, not from Narnia, Chris.
Aslan and the Badger.
So, people will write us
Honey
in.
Badger don't give a shit. What?
I love the idea of a shock jock who names themselves after C.S. Lewis characters.
Yeah,
I just-
actually, I'm into that.
Just those characters only.
Dawn Treader and Aslan here.
Tilda Swinton. No,
Right, no, close.
wasn't she in that one?
She was.
Yeah.
Yes,
She was
absolutely.
yeah.
The White Witch.
Yeah.
That.
So as I was trying to pivot, Andy, God damn it, people will call us, honey. They will slide into our DMs. They will send us emails. I mean, they reach out. They reach out, and we always say, we're not professionals, but we have opinions. So, don't feel like you need to hold back, and just go with your gut, go with your heart as we answer these questions.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Ashley?
we have opinions that we can do that for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you do, Ash.
Ashley, drag them. Drag them.
Oh, she's going to read them to filth. I love it when Ashley reads strangers to filth. It's fantastic.
All right, this first one comes to us. This is a voicemail that was sent to our line. And Naomi, what is that number again if someone wants to call in?
323-524-7839.
Yes. Yes, it is indeedy. Sorry, I gotta drop the.
You got to drop
the shock jock.
Yep, you have to
guy.
drop it.
The Badger.
It's
The
tough to
Badger's crawled inside of you deep.
burrowed into my heart and my vocal cords.
Hi, Andy and Naomi, and super rad guest. So I have recently, I'm not in a relationship. I've recently gotten out of one where I was engaged and she cheated on me. And so, yeah, that's sad. But I'm kind of in this weird place where I'm trying to get out there and meet people again. But it's been so long since I've just casually dated. And I want to know when it's too early to, start getting into deep things, personal things. And, I have chronic illnesses and mental illnesses and just things that get in the way. And, I just moved into an apartment and I have no furniture. And I just don't feel like I'm a great sell right now. But I'm not trying to find someone to marry, just have fun. I don't know. I guess I'm just awkward and I don't know what to do and how to do it. And also how to trust people again. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Okay, well, first things first, I'd go to IKEA.
Furniture.
And get some furniture
first.
because I do think that will help her feel better about herself, and she can take all these things one step at a time.
Furniture first.
Furniture first. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that.
What are your thoughts, Ashley?
Oh, me? No, you guys go. You guys are the experts. I have so many thoughts, concerns, and feelings. What do you guys think?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, when she says, I don't feel like I'm a great sell right now. To me, don't date. Because I think when you don't feel good about yourself, even if you're like, I just want it to be casual, you will end up getting wrapped up in a person who's not even worth your time because you're
not gonna attract. Like, I feel like I've been that way, especially post quarantine. I don't feel like myself. I feel off and I feel awkward and social anxiety and all that stuff. And I think that's what you're going to sort of attract if you're feeling in that space. But I think go back to like being cheated on and like how, like, have you dealt with that trauma and all of that? Is that done?
You can tell she hasn't.
You can tell. Well, you heard it here first. No, but it did. It feels like there's something there, and that's, you got to make sure, like, you don't want to like dive into the dating world with all these hang-ups because it's just not fun. It's not cute.
I'd focus on like
I mean, if you just want to get laid, then just go like have some sex.
That's what FarmersOnly.com.
Farmers Only. Yeah,
I would just like.
Are you sponsored? What's going on?
Get a roll of the hay with FarmersOnly.com.
Something tells me I am the last on their list for a celebrity.
I don't know. It's 2021.
I would try to focus on nurturing herself and you know and like having fun with friends and I don't know, I focus more on
also
time to focus on you.
100% Lizzo, my queen, my religion. Focus on you, and also like it was a lot of negative things. Like you love yourself first. Like RuPaul, my other queen, my other king says, it's like, you know, you got to love yourself first. And so I would say, you know, find a way to love you. And if you just want to get some schmacks, then that's not so hard to find now that everyone's vaccinated, right?
That's true. I mean, I think though the other thing that she was saying about sort of like, I have chronic illnesses, I have mental illnesses, you know, basically how soon in meeting someone to say that. And to me, it sounds cheesy, but like, I think you will know when you are talking.
I was gonna say that.
Really? Like, like you'll know, like you'll get the vibe. Oh, this is like a person I can trust, or a person who's not judgmental, or a person who you'll get the opening to kind of go there. Don't just
open up to a stranger. Don't just like, but you're gonna feel the vibe. Exactly. And also, what a time to like. I've never felt more awkward than I do in this moment. I think we're all trying to figure out how to be humans again. So like, I just think now is the time that like you don't have to have any sort of insecurities about being like, I'm weird. I'm off right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I'll also say, like, on that real one tip, that like the people who you are like who are real ones, you like you know, at that party on Saturday, like I talked to you guys and I did not feel weird or awkward. I felt like it was normal again. The people who like I like or who I vibe with, as soon as we went to another gathering on Sunday then.
Two things in one weekend.
It was.
I said,
wow.
What is this? 2019?
I can't tell. Who am I? What is this?
Yeah.
2019.
We're also all getting older, so naturally we don't want to go out as much anymore.
The recovery is longer.
Yeah.
The people who were real ones, we got into it pretty quickly.
Right.
And it didn't feel weird. It didn't feel awkward. It was just like, oh yeah. And I think those people, like, you'll find that, because I remember before I met you, Naomi, I went on a string of OkCupid dates.
I don't want to hear about that.
New York. And there was
never anyone before Naomi.
Exactly.
They were all fucking boring. They were all, there was every one of them where I was like, wait, why is this bad? Why is this, like, can't this person hang?
Yeah.
And then I met you, Naomi.
And then you know. And then you know.
But it is
And
really
the rest
like
is
that.
history.
You see, it's going to happen to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It's going to happen to you.
It can. But also, it's like so true, though. It's about like unexpected. You never know where you're going to find the love, okay? I was not looking, and that's how they get you, right? When you be free and just loving your life, they'll be like, girl, I smell, you feel well adjusted. You know what I mean? They can sense a pheromone that means happy and joyous
It's so
and
true.
free.
It's like the ads on Instagram where you're like
Targeted ads.
The worm from the labyrinth. I didn't know I needed that until now. And
Are you calling Andy the worm from the
no,
labyrinth?
I was talking.
Can I at least be David Bowie?
You can be whoever you
There you go,
are.
David Bowie.
Whoever you identify as. No, but you're totally right. When you're out there, when you're doing you, when you're living your life, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, here it is.
There it is,
know?
yeah.
Exactly.
But I feel like with that girl,
So I've heard.
with that girl, I feel like the furniture is almost symbolic. You know,
okay, you are really on this furniture.
I'm really
she loves.
it's like if she doesn't feel like she deserves furniture, you know, like you
Well, it
you
could be
gotta
like-
start in the home.
Yeah. Or like go thrifting. Like I know a lot of us have been out of work for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like it's
you
like
will not find a straight man if you go thrifting, but
no, but you could
You will
find
make a lot of
you could
friends.
find a settee that you can afford,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, but Chris is very into home decoration.
Yeah.
He. This is a new table we're sitting at. He's constantly changing things.
I am.
Furniture.
I had
is a
that.
big thing.
I am not. I like things to look nice, and when I see
Yeah.
them, I'm like, that's nice. But like when I get into I'm like, what? Do I paint it? Do I put a wallpaper?
Yep.
How do I know if a little color, you know, like 8x8 or whatever, is going to be
gonna
good
look good
when
on
it's
a whole
whole
wall?
wall? So then like I never commit to stuff.
Call Chris.
Yeah.
Call Chris.
Wow.
He's really good.
Yeah,
You've got
I feel like that's just part of being gay. I think it just comes with that. Well,
No,
a lot of us can do
not
that.
honey, I know gay men who can't put a shirt and a pant together.
You've
Yes,
just got,
I know those too.
You've got great style.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's true, and you're really good at interior decoration.
thanks, guys.
So call Chris, send Chris an email, and he'll tell you where to get some really nice furniture. And then
Paintersonly.com.
Oh, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was about to.
and then just tell yourself you're wonderful and loved, and then go, you know, I don't know, get on Tinder.
I should
She's
mention.
like, I don't know. Why are you worried about this? Stop dating.
I
Take
should
a
mention
nap.
that during the
100%.
break, Chris put on a pair of overalls and he's been chewing a piece of wheat
This whole time. Yeah. The second half of the
That's how
show. Yeah. Ashley and Chris are actually recreating the American Gothic painting.
Generally, when we walk into any room, that is true.
So if you guys saw me,
That or the scream.
100%.
if you guys saw me playing with my phone, it was not to check Twitter. It was to get this next piece of advice. This comes to us anonymous from Instagram.
I love when it's anonymous. I hope it's juicy.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, Naomi, and guest. I'm a longtime listener and first-time caller with a Lil predicament, L-I-L, Lil predicament to float by your trusted ears. My girlfriend and I recently moved out of a house where we had several roommates in our own place. What?
They moved out of a house where they had several roommates
Uh-huh.
into their own place.
Thank you. Thank you for parsing that. A step we were really excited to take after a year of constant stimulation and very little time to ourselves. It's the perfect apartment. We love it here, except for our downstairs neighbor, a guy who blasts explosions from his surround sound TV at max volume until really late at night, walks like a Clydesdale, and bellows songs to himself during other hours of the day. I know that
Is he my neighbor?
Is he single?
No, he's not. He's in a relationship.
Ashley, you want to drop your digits right here?
No, thank you. Wait, sorry, finish.
I know that apartment living requires some neighbor patience, but I've never experienced this level of disruption. Like the bass shakes our floor, and I can feel his footsteps from our bed.
Even though he's below, right? And they can feel the footsteps?
That's what they said.
I know, keep going. But I mean, you're right. But I'm like, downstairs, you can hear his footsteps?
Honestly, my reading comprehension when I'm reading these is very low. So whatever you guys say. We aren't sure how to ask him to quiet down. Knocking feels unsafe. This was a little while ago, so it says pandemic in parentheses. But now, hey. But a note feels rude. Maybe his hearing isn't great. How can we advocate for our peace? We are so weary. Thank you.
I love
Well,
it.
Okay, I got this one.
Didn't
Yeah.
Y'all had a crazy, awful neighbor.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We didn't
Haven't
handle
you-
it well. The
Yeah.
YouTube musician, who
Yes,
I wish
I
the
remember.
worst. I'm like always just hoping, you know.
Yes, even today. Even
Even
you,
now. Yeah,
you
I'm like,
want
I
the
wish
worst
him the
for
worst.
I wish him the worst.
I
I love
do.
that. What were you going to say?
Okay, so first off, I would like to say that Little Predicament is also my rapping name. Second, what I would do is I would write a series of complaint notes on different stationery and then put them in different envelopes so they look like they come from different parts of the building.
Wow. Okay.
And
Subterfuge.
and slide them under his door so he feels like the entire building is against him rather than just one person. And then also, can you not report him to the landlord? That does not seem normal, the explosions.
But I wonder, why did he give us all this information? The explosions are from the TV. The TV's
Right,
very loud. Why did he
right.
not give us all this information? Like, why is he telling us he moved out of this house with all these roommates that were a distraction, all of this stuff?
For
like,
fluff, yeah.
yeah, but I'm like, I mean, like, isn't this better? You don't have strangers all around. You're trying to like do it in the kitchen. So like, do we give the downstairs neighbor some wireless headphones?
Yeah, but also like, isn't that like you don't want to be rude, but like having the explosions going off at all times there, that's rude. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think you gotta just. I mean, I do like the idea that coming from all sides, so you can't be culpable.
Yeah.
And you can't,
Right.
But like feeling unsafe writing a note, I think I don't know. I would probably just be like, hey, what's going on? Shit's real loud.
You would just like knock on their door and just say it
I
straight
don't know
up.
that I would. I mean,
she absolutely would. She absolutely would.
I mean, a note is a nice start.
Well, it's funny because immediately when I have neighbor problems or anything like that, I start to keep a record. I want a log, and so I would like you type put a little note
for a lawyer or what?
Absolutely, or like
She has one of those like accounting things that you see in old movies.
My
where they pull
ledger?
out the ledger where they pull out and she writes it. She has a
Oh
little
my god!
quill pen
Yes,
and she
a
writes it.
pendaflex.
Yes, I
different
write
names.
I write the date and the offense, and that is how I keep a note. But
Yeah.
because I feel like going to the landlord, it's like that should go later. That should go after you've talked to them, I think.
Yeah.
Because they may just chill. But then there's also something to me, I can't decide if it's passive aggressive or lovely and generous, maybe both, to just be like, here are some silent headphones. Like, here's some silencing headphones. Like, you can use them. They're Bluetooth. You can connect them to your TV.
Right there.
And then
And it
you
can
can
be
hear
as
the
loud
explosion.
as possible.
Yeah.
I would come
Right.
to a place like, I don't know if you're hard of hearing. I don't know what's happening, but it's like we're trying to meditate. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah, I would say that's passive aggressive. I would say if you're going to get them, if you're going to get them something, if you're going to get them a gift, I would say get like a nice bottle of wine with a note that says, "Hey, just friendly, can you please keep it down?"
Oh, that's nice. In your own handwriting or someone else's?
Like I said, I go back to different fonts, different envelopes, different
That's a good
stationery.
idea.
Yeah.
Write it with your
That's a good tip.
non-dominant hand.
Right,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
shake him off. Yeah, shake him off.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to get different
right.
people to write them. Yeah,
Ransom, ransom letters. You know, you
Cobble
do
it
you.
together from a magazine.
Yeah, it could be kind of fun project.
Yeah, I like it.
This is the one interaction I've never mastered. I don't know if I said this on another episode or if I just said this to you in real life, Naomi. That
Well,
like,
it's all blended together.
Yeah,
is
really,
it an episode?
all-
Is it life?
It all mushes together in my brain. But like, the casual acquaintance is, or the like, I guess I would put like neighbor as casual acquaintance is such every sentence you say, every time you see them is such a gray area that it just gives me total anxiety. Like I don't have problems with strangers because I know how to act to strangers. I don't have problems with friends. I know how to act with friends. But like you're constantly like jockeying with a casual acquaintance, trying to figure out, do we talk with each other? Do we just say hi? How long should this interaction be? How do we get out of this interaction? What do we do? And it really plagues me. And I think neighbors are under, like we have neighbors, behind our apartment building is like a shared parking lot little thing. And it's very tight because everything in Los Angeles, you have to fit 50 fucking cars
Everything
into like
in Los Angeles is tight.
Exactly.
and the people for a long time, the people next to us, if they did not pull their cars in perfectly, it would be extremely difficult for us to get out, and it was just going to be a matter of time. Thankfully they moved out, but like it was just going to be a matter of time before I scratched their car and our car. And I didn't, though. I didn't.
Well done.
Because I was super, super careful. But it was just going to be one of those things where it's just like, it's like Buffy when she asked Spike, why did all the other Slayers die? And
Speaking my language now.
I was born in '90. I have no idea what you're talking
How
about.
dare
Oh
you?
my God. You're an
It
infant.
was
Get out of here.
1990. 1990 is crazy.
Wow.
And then Spike says it's just a numbers game. It's eventually going to happen to you. But like, I really contemplated a lot of times just like writing a note because I didn't know how to like knock on the door and just ask them. And maybe that's just it.
Did you ever write a note, or did you just panic every time you went to park?
Just panicked every time.
Okay, because I'm a person who has super high anxiety too, but I think that I would be more nervous every time I park. I would think, this is how I think, I'm going to make them a lot more upset if I hit their car than I will by just being like, hey, can you hear all the way over so I don't like cause us both an insurance premium, kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. You're right. You're right.
You're right.
It's definitely that.
Like, it's less stressful to write a note for me than to continue living in the fear of hitting their car.
Is it less stressful to have that conversation with the landlord, though?
Well, I mean, a landlord in LA they don't give a shit.
They don't. Yeah, it's
They're
not a
gonna
management
care.
company. They're not gonna like.
Yeah, it's
follow
not
up,
like
you know.
okay.
It's not. Yeah, when
They're
you're in
not
an
gonna-
apartment situation,
It's not like
not,
it is on the sitcoms.
No, they're not in your house every day. They're not even on site.
I was like, I love Mr. Roper. Like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong
Mr.
with
Roper.
Just
He
call
would-
Mr.
Roper
Roper.
would take care. I thought you said you were born in 1990.
Thank you. I was about to say you don't know Buffy, but you know Mr. Roper.
How dare you?
Well, the most recent time.
Well, because he's an 80-year-old woman in his heart. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which one's Mr. Roper? Don Knotts or the?
Don
Don
Knotts.
Knotts.
Don
Yeah,
Knotts.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. You're,
Oh wait,
you're-
or was he the second one?
he was the second one, I thought, and I
Who was,
forget.
who was the first? Was it Mrs. and Mr. Roper?
This
I
is
can't
Three's
remember.
Company.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure I'm on the right
yeah,
show.
yeah.
No, you're on the right show. I need everyone to know that I'm present, but let the record show Mabel did pee on the ottoman, and I'm just, trying to just
No.
plan was good.
just-
The ottoman has a cover, but you know that shit gonna seep through the cover.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you need a pause?
You need to take a break.
Oh, no. But
I do
just-
love how your cat just keeps making appearances.
I
It's making
know.
my day. I'm living for that.
So you just say it. You just have
Yes,
to
Write
say
a
you
it.
note.
knock on the door and
Write
you
a
say it
note.
nice, and you say
You're like,
it
shit's
nice.
too loud. Here's a bottle of
yeah.
wine. What's
Yeah,
going
I
on?
say kill him with kindness.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the best. That's the best
Right.
advice.
Especially
At
'cause,
first.
also, have
And
you
then
met-
of course go to the
And then
landlord.
threaten the lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause, yeah.
always
Keep
But,
your
like,
records.
Have you? I love a record. But it's like, have you guys met before? Right? Is this just the disembodied noise, or have you met this person yet?
Right.
Because
Do
I
you
would
see them in
definitely
the
be
car
like,
park?
hey, we're your new upstairs neighbors.
Yeah.
And just and you could even say like, we hear the TV like really loud below. Is there any way you could turn it down? Of course with the gift, because you're like, hey, I want us to start fresh. I want us to
Yeah.
start clean.
Yeah.
Like he may not know or be paying attention to the fact that someone lives up there now, like a new person.
It could have been.
And
yeah,
also,
vacant
how
for a-
long has this been going on? Because is this person still alive, or did they die watching Fast and the Furious?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Are
and it
they
keeps
just
playing?
And it just
Yeah.
keeps playing like it's just the DVD menu going on for hours and hours and hours. Maybe check on them.
Wow.
Yeah, or maybe just play like your own music so loud. That's passive aggressive.
Oh
That's
God.
Bump
That
the Liza
passive aggressive.
Minnelli.
Yeah, yeah,
Bump the Liza Minnelli at like.
Two can play this game mode, man.
Yeah.
Let's do one more, and this is, of course, another voicemail. Of course.
Of
This
course.
is fun. I like giving advice.
Yeah.
Because I always give advice like when
Yeah.
I'm listening to things like in my car, but like
Yeah.
I can actually do it. Other people are here to listen to me. Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing.
All right,
You give it
here
unsolicited all the time.
Yeah, right.
we go.
Hey, Andy and Naomi.
Well, she's
I
already
don't
said.
know how to really word this, but I'm in a relationship with a person for like 6 years that I really love, like a lot. But he has a brother, and
Oh no.
I don't get along with him.
Oh, thank
And that
God.
would be a
I thought she was
problem.
fucking him.
You know what I mean? If I didn't have to deal with him, like every day, we all used to work at the same place. Now only me and the brother work at the same place. My boyfriend got a better job, which is great because I love him and I want him to be happy. But I have to drive him home sometimes.
Why?
I have to, like, I don't know why I think I know why I think he's so terrible. It's because he's pretty racist.
Oh no.
Way to bury the lead.
We don't give racist right home. That's it.
He's just, he's narcissist and all of these things, and I can't
Is he single?
deal with all
No.
of that in one person.
Ashley,
And
drop
I'm
your
just like,
digits.
and I have to
No
deal with
thanks.
it, and then I want to know what he's saying about me to my boyfriend, so I ask my boyfriend. My boyfriend tells me, and it makes me upset, and then it causes a fight between me and my boyfriend, and I'm just like, I know I shouldn't be asking if I can't handle it or whatever. It just makes me so upset. Because, like, for example, we had, like, a fight when we were moving over, like, a bed sheet or something because I thought it was ours, and he had the same, like, color or whatever. And he wasn't even going to keep his bed sheet. Like,
What?
he was throwing the bed away. I mean, that's not the point. But the thing is,
I feel like she's in here with
I
us.
can't-
Let's
like,
call her. What's
the
her number?
frequency brings it up still, even though I came to him and I went to my boyfriend and I said, "How do I apologize? Like, I feel like maybe I did too much or whatever."
and how do I, like, say this to him because I don't know how to talk to him because I don't like him and whatever. And I talked to him, I talked to my boyfriend, and I'm like, how do I apologize? Okay, whatever. And then I go and I try to apologize to this person, and then he still fucking brings it up about me. And I'm like, I freaking apologized. I tried to admit I was wrong to these people that I came and stand to think that I'm wrong because
I can't follow.
You know, being wrong is the worst thing in the freaking world. Anyways, this is not important. I don't think
being a racist is worse than being wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, as always, we like to remind you there is a 3-minute limit. And this one did get cut off at 2:59. What I do recommend, Andy has suggested it, like maybe you do a voice memo or something, like if you want to call in.
Practice.
But even just like you can always like email the memo,
a voice
right?
memo.
Because like I do like hearing your voice because it helps me know how in deep you are.
Set a 3-minute timer.
Or set a 3-minute timer.
Set an egg timer.
So I had a hard time following along with that one. So her brother-in-law is racist.
Her boyfriend's brother is a racist that she works with, and she hates him, and he's mad about a bed sheet.
And there's a bed sheet.
Yeah.
What happened with the bed sheet? I couldn't follow that.
I don't know. I think he took it.
No, yes, they had. So I guess he lives with them, and he
not
had
anymore.
Oh,
they
not
moved
anymore.
out.
He had a similar color.
So they have their
bed
own
sheet.
place. First of all, get a new job. Stop working with the.
Why does she have to get a new job?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Why can't she just get him fired for being a racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's better. You're right. I just feel
love
like we
that.
don't need to worry so much about hurting racists' feelings. We don't need to give them rides home. We don't need to give them bed sheets. I don't think we need to worry about it.
You know
so
what
much.
he's going to do with that bed sheet if it's white?
That's what I was
going to say.
thinking.
Are we sure it's a bed sheet?
Exactly.
But it's like I am a little concerned. Like you're in a 6-year relationship with a guy that you love. I would like to think that your boyfriend could be like,
supportive
and understand that you're in a pickle and you don't want to hang out with this racist hot mess brother.
Does he? I wonder if the boyfriend is if he can't stand his brother.
Well, it seems like he likes his brother, and that's where the contention's coming from, right?
Or maybe he's a secret racist, and that's what we really.
Oh no!
Well, then just
boyfriend.
God,
because that's the thing. It's like true. It's like how can you? He should at the very least be able to run interference that is like.
Yeah, he should be protecting her.
Yeah, and like, and also like, for instance, when she's like, "Well, tell me what he said about me," and he does. Not only should he not do that, don't even ask your brother what he thinks of her. You know what I mean? The boyfriend should be like, "Don't talk shit about my girlfriend. I don't want to hear it."
Right.
And also, like, the last person whose opinion about me I care about would be a narcissistic racist. like if you don't like me, that is a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Right.
Please keep insulting me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Narsa racist?
A narcissist. That sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's
I know because you can't get rid of him, but I'm like, but at the same time,
Or can you? Frame
Not with that
him.
attitude.
Not with
Frame
that
him.
attitude.
Frame him. Everyone, let's chant. Frame him.
Okay, now maybe Ashley, if you can get that finger that was sent to you, we can have him. We can plant it on him, and then it'll be like, look what he did.
You know a guy.
I don't even think the guy who mailed me a finger would be this much of a nightmare.
Yeah, probably not.
No. I don't know. This is weird.
Get those digits. Well, those other digits.
The 9 remaining.
Drop those digits.
But also though, you can hear in her voice how fucking like broke down she is. Right?
Yeah, no, she sounds like
hear it,
Eeyore.
and she's like, I don't know. This is probably, and it's
But
like,
why is this brother all up in her life? She works with this brother. She gives him rides home. Like, I'm a people pleaser to a fault. But there's comes a point where I'm like, bitch, call an Uber. Like, you're talking shit about me to my boyfriend. You're all up in my life. Like, you have to have a little bit of like, you need to set a boundary and be like, if you're gonna talk shit about me, if you're gonna be this kind of person, even though we work together, like, I'm getting in my fucking car and I'm driving home.
yeah.
You don't have to give him a ride home.
Yes, at the very least.
Right?
But what is the work dynamic?
Exactly. That's what I want to find.
Is one of them the manager? Like, what is
that's what I'm wondering too. It's amazing how we have
she
a
didn't give us
3-minute
that information.
Right, we have
a lot about the
3-minute
bed sheet,
voicemail.
not a lot about the dynamic.
But yeah, we don't have all the deets because I also want to think like.
But we're starved for details.
Yeah,
we
call her.
We're
Just
starting.
leave her phone number. Let's go.
Did the bed sheet have 2 holes in it, next, kind of close to each other?
It's like
no.
she should like. It should really be a conversation with her, with her boyfriend, saying like, hey, this is what's up. You know, I need you to either keep him, you know, away from me and meaning, you know, like family functions or what, you know, making sure we're not talking, you know, or, you know, can you tell him, you know, not to say, you know, X, Y, and Z racist things you've heard him say, you know? Cause it's like, and that should be a no-brainer. Like, if your boyfriend can't do that,
100%.
I'm going to have you rethink a little bit of this relationship, quite honestly.
Right.
If you can't do that. You know?
He needs to like run interference and protect her a little bit in the situation. It feels weird. It feels like the brother and him are in a relationship and she's like on the outs of it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I wonder what bothers her.
Do you know what I mean?
more. Yeah. What bothers her more, like the fact that he's a racist narcissist, or that he's talking smack about her?
I think all of it bothers her.
It all bothers her. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't either.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
I don't know how to solve our problems.
They don't like each other. Like, they just don't get along. They're two people who literally, you know, she says the sky's blue, he'll say it's green. Like, they're those kind of people where it's just like, it's never going to work.
Honestly, I do think she has to rethink the boyfriend. Look, if your significant other doesn't have your back,
she's not chained to him.
That's a big problem.
Life is long.
Yep. That's true. Yeah. That's true. I mean, the way you put it, because to me, my first was like, rethink your significant other, because if he has a racist brother, it's like, what is he about? But no, you're right. If he doesn't have your back in this situation, that's the problem. Yeah. Even though I would rethink somebody with a race, it's like, why is your brother racist?
I don't think you should judge people based on their family members, because I've got some pretty wacky family members. You know, like I mean, woof.
True.
Like, I could get the bingo on wacky family members, but
But like him putting up and allowing his brother to be racist and narcissistic and talk shit about her is the problem.
That's not nice.
Yeah. It should not be a conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, whatever this bed
Shut
sheet
it down.
situation.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Yeah. Whatever the bed sheet
Why should you worry
situation
about a bed sheets at IKEA are fucking $5? Why is this such a traumatic moment?
I'm still so confused about the bed sheet. What, did anyone catch what that was about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Andy's got it.
So they each have bed sheets. They each have a sheet set that are similar colors, and I guess she had. They had maybe put the wrong one on their bed, and the brother said, no, that's mine, and I think that's what the contention was, if I read it correctly.
And then she said she apologized profusely for a number of years, it seemed like. She's apologized for years, and it keeps getting brought up.
Right.
That's weird. Right.
Yeah.
Like crashing your car, punching you in the... I mean, like, there's things that... But accidentally putting the wrong sheet on a bed is not something that gets brought up for 6 years.
Yeah, that doesn't even need a sorry. Look, you don't need to apologize. You have to be like, oh, oops, here it is.
Sorry.
Right.
Lady.
No, not even. I'm not saying
Shut it down.
That is not a mistake that needs a sorry. That maybe needs a a sorry in terms of just like you just need to say something there.
Yeah.
Well, because I also think though it might not have even just been like making the bed. I think she was like, we were moving
out and actually took
sheet.
a sheet.
But then she was like,
bed sheet.
She said he was like gonna throw out his bed anyway. Like he didn't even need the sheet.
But
there was no bed he needed a sheet
at most, that's a $20 mistake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
her. He wants to
shut
make
it down. Yeah,
shut it down.
I feel like we are missing information.
Yeah,
like this plot has holes in it.
Let's get her on the pod.
Right.
Call us back.
And be like, is he your boss at this job? Right.
Yeah.
Like we want to know. Like
yes, because that's the only thing that's like complicating this. If he happens to be her boss, then this is a little more difficult. Otherwise, fucking shut him out of your life.
Yeah. Don't drive him home. It's called Uber.
At the very least.
It's called a scooter. It's a bird. Don't drive him home.
Okay, that was good. I feel like we got to the bottom of that. I feel like we really. I feel like we at least at the very least.
That was a journey.
That was
true.
Sheetgate.
The way.
How many times did we say bed sheet? Take a shot.
Take a shot.
Okay, take a shot every time you are in bed sheet.
Oh my God.
Drunk.
I just thought it's interesting, when people like, people who, you're not a writer, you're not a comedian, but there was something so perfect about like a minute in, I don't know why I don't like him. I know why. It's because he's a racist. That was perfect. Like that was just the way. Like I didn't see it coming.
Not a detail I would forget.
Yeah, the timing. It was good.
Oh, it's beautiful. I was like, that's gorgeous. But Ashley, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was magical.
Thank you so much for having us. This was so much fun.
You guys are the best in the game, and you've truly been. Your friendship has been a real gift of Los Angeles. You know,
I agree.
Look, I don't want to get sappy. I don't want to get too sappy, but
No.
like truly, like, you know, like we maybe like when did we meet you guys? Like maybe a year in or so. We like super hated this place. And like,
Yeah.
like your friendship was like maybe the first.
It was nice to feel like they were like friends who was like, oh yeah, we hang out, you know, and not in the way
Yeah.
you say in LA, like, yeah, we'll hang out, which is
Oh my
LA.
God, totally. Let's get
Bye.
lunch.
Yeah,
Never.
like I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, yeah, so that it's all very lovely and, you know.
And we're so glad you guys are part of our tribe now.
Yeah, we love you.
Okay, we just gushed for too long now. I feel vulnerable. Okay, bye.
Bye.